talked about it briefly a few days ago. Remember, I defined it as that subjective experience, right? That subjective, evaluation. It's your own evaluation of the positive and the negative dimensions or experiences that you are associating with in your relationship, that you're experiencing in your relationship. So you're having your intimate relations, and then you add up the positive experiences and the negative. If the positive are more, that's a great positive experience. If the negatives are more, that's a negative experience, and we want to correct that. But here's the deal: haven't we all had negative experiences? Haven't we all had sexual experiences where, hey, not the best? But that's expected in life, right? But the most important thing is to be able to voice calmly and coolly what you want in order to get your sexual satisfaction. And sometimes we really don't have the courage or the knowledge on how to approach someone when we want to talk to them about our sexual satisfaction, whether it's, good or bad. Again, easy when it's good. When it's bad, you want to sort of like address the issues. So if you have an issue, the question is, how do you approach it? So we'll talk about that a little bit later on. What you want to know now is, how do you know what to describe what is negative or positive? Meaning, what are the experiences that you want to emphasize were great, and what are the experiences that you want to emphasize were not so great? So you want to make it a balance. You don't want to just say the negative experiences. You also want to talk about the positive experiences, right? Essential to sort of get a good grip of what is a sexual satisfaction. What are experiences that should be experienced, leading to a great sexual satisfaction? So I did talk about a questionnaire yesterday. I'm going to do it again because it's really difficult to talk about sexual satisfaction when there's so much information out there. Tons of research, tons of papers, tons of articles. So I've got a few. Today I'm going to go through two, but it's going to be more in terms of understanding what is sexual satisfaction. What do you really want to have in sexual satisfaction? What's the requirement of sexual satisfaction, right? Okay, so here we have the Sexual Satisfaction Index by Leith Neeson et al., Department of Psychology, Aarhus University. Okay, so I want to give knowledge to that. That's a validation group. And they have 9 beautiful questions that you need to almost memorize because they are so crucial in telling us what is part of sexual satisfaction. Now, they're not the only ones. Oh my gosh, like I said, there are tons of perspectives of sexual satisfaction. And I'm going to go through at least 2 today, 2 tomorrow. I might have 2 more to go. But I want you to hear the different aspects of what sexual satisfaction is. So, number 1, I am satisfied with the amount of touching in our relationship. That's hugs and caresses, right? So when they caress you, you want to be caressed. And that caressing is part of touching and part of feeling sexually satisfied. So we all know that sometimes people don't touch. I think that is not acceptable. It is not allowed. You have to touch. You have to both, male, female, you have to touch each other. Of course, in an appropriate way and in an appropriate area and situation and environment. You don't want to just touch randomly, even though if you do, make sure no one sees you. But the most important aspect of touching is actually touching. Some people did not grow up touching. So you have relationships where there is not much touching going on, and you really, really miss when you don't have touching. You really miss out. My encouragement is, number 1, I am satisfied with the amount of touching in our relationship, hugs and caresses. So to assess whether you're getting a lot of touching, you want to now go to the number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strongly agree that you're being touched. Agree you're being touched. Neither agree or disagree you're being touched. Disagree you're being touched. And strongly disagree you're being touched. Okay? So you're not satisfied. So you strongly agree to strongly disagree. And we want to add them up. And we're going to get some results, but again, the results are not as important as understanding that you might not be getting sexual satisfaction from this questionnaire. We're going to go through it, the other ones, and I want you to see whether you are on a lower end or higher end so that you can actually know whether you need to have that conversation with your partner, having sexual satisfaction discussed, like compatibility. You want to get there before it happens, before it's an issue, and you want to make sure that your partner understands that, yes, you are being honest, gently being honest, and you want to discuss the fact that you want to be touched, right? Who doesn't want to be touched in appropriate ways and in appropriate situations and environments, right? So remember, this is the Likert scale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now there are some stars here we have. It's going to be reversed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the opposite direction. And when I get there, we'll do that, okay? So again, touching is important, guys. So make sure that your partner is appropriately touching you in the right way that you like. Remember the 5 languages of love. That's also important. So take that into consideration. Make sure you discuss that with your partner because it's related. You want to be touched. And I think touching is crucial and, I mean, part of the deal. You've got to be able to touch both ways. Guys touching the girls and the girls touching the guys, okay? Number 2, there is flirtation and romance between my partner and I. Flirting. Flirting is healthy as long as between you and your partner. When it involves somebody else, not so good. But when your partner and you flirt, I think that is again healthy foreplay, right? It's some sort of getting him or her into the motion, into the mood, into the feelings that you love each other or you're in intense like with each other. Again, depending on the situation. But if you're in a great romantic relationship, you really should be flirting once in a while. And again, if it's too much, be open. If it's too little, be open and discuss it. So the question here to find out whether you are in a relationship when you're flirting and that the romance between the two of you is good, I want you to give it a score. Either 5, strongly agree that there's flirtation and romance. 4, agree. 3, neither agree or disagree. 4, sorry. This is number 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4, disagree. 5, strongly disagree. Okay, so if you see, you give points 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in black for the black questions. When we come to the red questions, you're going to use the red numbers to give to each of those numbers. Okay, so just know that for number 2, you either strongly agree, which is 5, agree, which is 4, neither agree or disagree, which is 3, disagree, which is 2, and strongly disagree, which is 1. So you want to sort of assess whether you're getting any flirtation and romance, okay, between the two of you. You really do want some flirtation. Again, innocent flirtation. Number 3, I am satisfied with the amount of time we spend on foreplay. Now, foreplay is something, again, individuals will decide how much foreplay you're going to have and whether you're going to actually have a lot of time on that, which, again, it's so individual. The question, though, is, are you satisfied, right? If you're not, you got to have that conversation. So if you're satisfied or not, we want to know whether you strongly agree that you're satisfied and give 5 points, agree 4 points, neither agree or disagree 3 points, disagree 2 points, and strongly disagree 1 point. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4, I wish my partner would initiate sex more often. Sometimes you got to be the person that initiates it, takes the first step, makes the first move, and makes your partner feel sort of wanted. That's the game plan when it comes to initiating sex, right? You want your partner to know that you care and that you really do enjoy your partner, meaning you want to be with them intimately. If you don't initiate it, they're not going to get the message that you are really interested in them. So please know that initiating is very important. So to find out whether you are, I wish my partner would initiate sex more often. Do you strongly agree? That's 5. Do you agree? That's 4. Neither agree or disagree. That's 3 points. Disagree, 2 points. Strongly disagree. That's 1 point. So if you really disagree that you wish your partner would initiate sex, you'd be going down to the number 1, right? Number 4 is the one that you're going to actually work. Actually, number 5, we're going to number 5. Number 5 is the one we're going to actually reverse the numbers here. See, we said reverse them from number 5, 6, 7, 8. We're actually going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's in reverse. Okay. I often feel rejected, especially by my partner. I often feel rejected sexually by my partner. We're doing the one. One, strongly agree. Two, agree. Three, neither agree or disagree. Four, disagree. And five, strongly disagree. Okay? You do not want to feel rejected by your partner. I cannot imagine how that would feel. I really do encourage you that if you're ever rejected, have that discussion with your partner to find out why. It might be them and it might be you. So have an open mind, have a great, open, kind experience in terms of conversation so that you're not bitter or angry because it could be very hurtful, right? So don't get emotional. Just have that conversation where you're able to say, I really did not like what you did to indicate that you rejected me. Okay. And I think all of us have probably been, through that once or twice in our life. So please know that it's a conversation to have if it's somebody that you want to be with long term. Okay. Number 6, I long for more variation in our sex life. That's in the red. We want to strongly agree. Number 1, agree. Number 2, neither agree or disagree. Number 3, disagree. Number 4, or strongly agree. Number 5. So having more variation in our sex life is introducing things that are different. Some people do love to do that and some people do not. Again, each to their own. Have that conversation with your partner. If you're not getting more variation and you want some, please have your partner be aware of it. Because when they're not aware of it, they're going to say they didn't know. You've got to bring it up. If you really want to be honest, just again, write it down. I always encourage people to write things down and have that conversation with the paper in front of you and check it off when you've got great conversations going. And if not, put a question mark or concerns. And if you need help, again, I always say get help. Third party, psychologist, psychiatrist, a sex therapist. Okay. All right. Number 7, I wish that my partner would be more loving and caring during sex. Now that's a big one. 1, strongly agree. 2, agree. 3, neither agree or disagree. 4, disagree. 5, strongly disagree. Okay. So again, if that is something that is going on, that you need more love and more care during sex, voice it, make it known. You've got to be verbal and have your partner know that you want more loving and more caring. Agreed. Some situations you walked into, it was not that in the first place when you first got together. So to change that is sort of like difficult. But I'm going to encourage you, be soft, be gentle, be persistent, and you probably will get your way if you do it properly. And if not, please reach out and get some help so that you can get more love and care during your sexual engagement. Okay. Number 8, I have an orgasm when we have sex. Now, that's key. Okay. So hands down, we want to have an orgasm. How many you have depends on how many you want, but at least have an orgasm. And we want to know, I have an orgasm when we have sex, and you strongly, actually, we're going to go back to, strongly agree, number 5, agree, number 4, neither agree or disagree, number 3, disagree, number 2, and strongly disagree, number 1. So you want to make sure that you agree that you do have an orgasm when we have sex. If you're not having an orgasm, see someone like me so that can be addressed, okay? And number 9, I am generally satisfied with my sex life. Do you strongly agree? Number 5 points, agree 4 points, neither agree or disagree 3 points, disagree 2 points, strongly disagree 1 point. Okay? So when you see the different perspective, the different aspect, right? This is what you require to have sexual satisfaction. So the question is, where are you along this scale? And I don't want to give numbers right now, but I do want you to know that you want to have more than less. And if it's not something you want to have less than more. And whenever you get those scores, just know that you can improve them if it's something that you want to have improved by talking openly and lovingly with your partner. Okay? All right. So that's the sexual satisfaction index. I have another sexual satisfaction index, but this is called the Index of Sexual Satisfaction by Walter Hudson et al. Okay? And they are basically giving you a different perspective of sexual satisfaction requirements. Okay? So here they say the questionnaire is designed to measure the degree of satisfaction you have in the sexual relationship with your partner. It is not a test. So there is no right or wrong answers. Answer each item as carefully and as accurately as you can by placing a number beside each one as follows. So none of the time is one, very rarely is two, a little of the time is three, some of the time is four, a good part of the time is five, most of the time is six, all of the time is seven. Now, we don't have to go into trying to put numbers here because I really don't think that that's important in this particular questionnaire. But what I think is important is the aspects. Now, listen to this. Number one, I feel that my partner enjoys our sex life, right? So this is what you want to know. Are you right or are you wrong? Better be right. I feel that my partner enjoys our sex life. Now, I have heard situations where they do not accurately describe their sex encounter with their partner. So I'm just going to throw that in there. That when it is asking here, I feel that my partner enjoys our sex life. Just be double sure. Okay, if you're not sure, ask. Okay. Number two, our sex life is very exciting. So you see how the questionnaires are different. They're asking now, do you consider your sex life exciting? Do you look forward to having sex with your partner? That is what they want to know. Because if you score on the lower end, then we know there's a problem and it needs to be addressed. Number three, sex is fun for my partner and me. They want to know. That means you're satisfied. Number four, sex with my partner has become a chore for me. Aha. So if it becomes a chore, that's work. That shouldn't be the case, right? If it is, you need to have that looked at and addressed and discussed. And if you need a third party professional, please invite one in to make sure that you are able to understand the seriousness of this, because a chore is a no-no, should never be a chore. Number five, I feel that our sex is dirty and disgusting. Now that means there's something else going on, either with you or with the relationship. Again, professional counseling, professional help. I feel that our sex is monotonous, right? Same old, same old. Got to do some variation there. Again, satisfaction does need some variation. Number seven, when we have sex, it's too rushed and hurriedly completed. I guess that can happen, right? If it does, again, open conversation so that you can get satisfied and you don't have this rushed sensation going on. That's not fair, because if you're not satisfied and your partner's satisfied, that is not fair. So we need to make sure you have that discussion. So remember, these are aspects, these are the perspectives that you should be looking at when you're considering sexual satisfaction. Are you sexually satisfied? Number eight, I feel that my sex life is lacking in quality. Whoa. You see how that's a different answer, a different question, and you gotta have a different answer. I feel that my sex life is lacking in quality. Whoa. Okay? That means you're not getting some intimate, lovely action or acts going on that will make you just blow into the sky and just blow up and feel like you're just another cloud nine, right? So you really want to know that you're getting some quality, which means you need patience, right? So if your partner's not patient, you're not going to get quality. Okay, so that's going to be an issue of patience, and we want to talk to them about being patient and slowing down if that's what you need, and having some things added or addressed so that you can get some quality, for example, touching, right? Number nine, my partner is sexually very exciting. That's awesome, right? That's a great situation. Number 10, I enjoy the sex techniques that my partner likes or uses. Nice, right? That's what we want. Number 11, I feel that my partner wants too much sex from me. Oops. That means you're not happy with something if it's too much, right? Now, you could be happy and it's still too much. But generally, again, have that conversation, find out If your partner is really thinking everything's okay and you are not, you've got to open up so that he understands that he needs to sort of like slow down. Okay. Number 12, I think that our sex is wonderful. Perfect, right? Number 13, my partner dwells on sex too much. Is that possible? Absolutely. Number 14, I try to avoid sexual contact with my partner. Not good. If you do, that means you're not sexually satisfied. Something is wrong, so you have to address that. Number 15, my partner is too rough when we have sex. So if it's too rough, you have to have the open conversation. Stop, consent. Actually, a lot of people tell me that sometimes they keep quiet, and I say, no, you have to verbally say stop and have a safe word if you need to. Otherwise, stop alone should be enough to say, hey, stop or slow down or let's do this instead of doing that, right? Because, rough is subjective. So you have to be able to, again, communicate what that is. And I'm going to say right now, if you need professional help, please seek professional help to get that clear, all right? Your primary care doctor is also a source, okay? Number 16, my partner is a wonderful sex mate. Great, that's what we want. Number 17, I feel that sex is a normal function of our relationship. That's what we want. Again, that's the perspective. That is sexual satisfaction. That's a requirement, right? Number 18, my partner does not want sex when I do. That's an issue. So when you want sex, does he? When he wants sex, do you? Is there an issue there? If there is, again, have that conversation, see whether you can resolve it. If you can't, get someone to be there with you as a third party. Okay? Number 19, I feel that our sex life really adds a lot to our relationship. That's what it should do, right? It should be a compliment, right? Something that you add in a relationship that makes the relationship last long and makes it more beautiful than without it, right? So you want to have that in your relationship. And if you're not experiencing that, there's a problem that needs to be addressed. So first of all, have a conversation and seek help if you have to. Number 20, I've got 5 more to go, then we're done. My partner seems to avoid sexual contact with me. Whoa. Isn't that sad? When your partner is not having sex with you and you're in a relationship or you're married, that is not acceptable. Have the conversation. Otherwise, this is grounds for serious actions, including divorce. So that is not allowed. You cannot be deprived of sex. It is your right. Okay? So make sure you have that conversation. If you, as a man or woman, is not having sex or in a sexless marriage, that is not acceptable. Please seek help. Okay? Number 21, it is easy for me to get sexually excited by my partner. Sweet. Nice. Number 22, I feel that my partner is sexually pleased with me. Lovely. You see the different angle? I think my partner is pleased with me. Beautiful. Number 23, my partner is very sensitive to my sexual needs and desires. Love that. You see, another perspective. You can say, yes, my partner is sensitive to my needs and desires. Gotta make sure that that is true. Number 24, my partner does not satisfy me sexually. Now that is something that I hear a lot as a doctor, right? And they come to me and I try to do some little coaching and counseling. Otherwise, you see a sex therapist, psychologist, depending on the degree. And there are so many different cases. I can't even start. But the reality is that it does happen. And yes, some people do get it resolved and others do not. So please attempt to get this out in the open and let's have a great conversation, either with a third party or just with, your primary care doctor like me, and have an open discussion saying what really is going on. And hopefully the person can be honest when the third party is present. And the last question here we have is, I feel that my sex life is boring, meaning nothing is going on except missionary, and that's it. And even missionary, right? You can have different ways of doing missionary, but even missionary is something that with the different sex positions, again, the Kama Sutra, that you really should have variations and be able to move from one position to the other. But if you're just in a situation where you're just doing one particular position, and this is just an example, I'm going to encourage you to, again, have that conversation with your partner. And if you can't resolve it, get someone like a professional involved to help you decide and discuss and open up your partner's mind, because that is not easy. And I'm going to just say that that is your desire in order to get sexual satisfaction. So you've got to do it to give you some satisfaction and give you some happiness, because who comes first? You do. So you have to take care of you and consider your partner in doing that, so that both of you can have, again, a long lasting, beautiful sexual relationship. Okay, guys? All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.